My next guest is the author of our new book on the book club, which is Child's Play, and she joins me right now, and it is Carmen Posadas. Hello, Carmen.
Hello, Charlie.
Lovely to talk to you. Now, this is great when I get to speak to somebody that I've read the book and I think, now there are so many questions I want to ask, so I'm going to go in order here. Firstly, what a fabulous idea, because I think immediately one of the things that you get to a certain age and you start to think more about school days and nostalgia and what happened, and can you remember that girl in 4C? And I wonder whether you had got to that stage where you suddenly started thinking, isn't it interesting, my school days? And that's why you came up with the idea.
Well, actually, you're right. Yes, because I've been dreaming about my school days for all my life, and suddenly said, why not write about it? You see, I've been writing for children for a long time, and then I decided, why not look at the other side of the child's story? Always when I write for children, I use my best side, the luminous side. Let's say it's about how children being so nice. And then I said, let's talk about nasty children as well.
Darkness. Oh, there's darkness in this book, Carmen. And the darkness is interesting because the little girl Elba, who is introduced to us as, you know, one side of her, we start to see another side of her. But this is all because of an interesting twist which you put in, which I'm fascinated to know where you got the idea from, that you decided your main character would say that to her child that she was adopted. Now, was this guilt because she had chosen to be impregnated by somebody and she didn't want to spill the beans on that?
Well, yes, the thing, I don't know if those would happen here in England, but at one time in Spain, for example, that single mothers decided to have a baby, and it wasn't very orthodox to do it just on your own, so they would make up a story, and once you make up a story, then you can't change it. Right. So she tells everybody that she's had a baby, this girl is adopted, and then she never finds the moment to tell the child, and by the time she tells her, it's a bit too late, and the child thinks she's a liar.
Yes, she thinks she's a liar. She's also on the sort of the precipice of becoming a teenager, going to a new school, starting a new life, and in fact she decides that she doesn't like that idea because she likes the idea that she has got this fantastic set of biological parents somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I used to have a friend in school. She was adopted, and she made up all these wonderful stories about who her parents would be. And of course, they were not normal people. They were princes and actresses and wonderful. So obviously, if you don't know about your background, you make it up, and you make it up in the most fascinating way.
I think also the nice thing on this is, of course, this is actually a mystery novel, and it talks about, when I mention the word guilt, it is because, in the past a child has died at this particular school, the same school that Elba, the child of her, is now going to go to. And it's an interesting reflection because the darkness comes in where you wonder whether it's all mirroring life again. And again, was that something that happened to you?
Well, it's funny, us writers are sometimes very superstitious, and you get the impression if you write about something, it will turn
yes.
true. That's very scary. So my character, she's a writer. She's about my age, and she's a successful writer of thrillers and so on. She gets the impression that she's writing a book, and all things that she writes turn true in her daughter Elba, which is very scary.
Yes.
Fortunately, it hasn't actually happened to me, but I always scared it might.
Fingers. Yes, I'm crossing fingers as we speak. But that's what I think the beauty of being a good writer is, the fact that, you do have this wonderful imagination, and I'm sure when you come up with ideas, you do go along this whole thing of, I wonder if, or imagine if, or what if that was to happen. And I think what's come across in the book is the fact that, as you say, is the sort of the imagination turning into reality, and that's what's so dark about it, because it's everybody's fear, isn't it?
Yes, and on the other hand, I wanted to portray something. I don't know if it happens in England, but definitely in Spain. We have now a kind of Walt Disney look at children, in the sense that we think that children are innocent and nice and kind, and so on. That's true, obviously, but children can also be very, very nasty. And I thought it was very scary for a mother to find out the other side of her child,
Yeah, absolutely, and 100%. And I would say some of the cases that we've had over in this false country. I'm just thinking where children have committed dreadful acts. I can always remember listening to a debate on the radio saying, are children born evil or do they learn it? Which again is a fascinating insight. You know, would it have happened had she gone to a different school? That sort of thing.
When I was writing this book, there was a very famous case in Spain. There were two young teenagers that they burnt mendigo.
Like a doll?
Like a tramp.
Okay, yes, yes,
They burnt this tramp alive.
Oh.
And when they interviewed the parents, they couldn't believe it at all because the children had very good reports at school. They were very nice children. They had no problems whatsoever. How on earth did they do that? So the question is, do we know the people we really love?
Yes, that is what's scary. And I think that is one of the things that when we read articles about people who lead double lives, you know, we often say, oh, come on, you know, you must have had an indication. But I think there is a part of all of us, and even children, that will, you know, the whole onion skin thing, that there is a certain part which some people never see.
Right. That is also scary. And then I thought it was good to make up a story about that. And then on the other hand, you can also read the book as a book in progress, because I think that writers are a bit like chefs. They never give you the recipe of how they write.
Yes.
And I thought it was fun to tell the reader exactly how you build up a thriller.
Yes. And that's
step by step.
Exactly, and we watch that process happen. When I was reading about you, Carmen, I was interested to see that you were the daughter of a diplomat, but you attended a British boarding school, and you absolutely loved that. Did you like going to school? Because I know you enjoyed certain subjects, things like English and everything, but did you like going to the boarding school?
I loved it. I'll tell you why. Because I'm Uruguayan. I came to live in Spain when I was about 12. And this was back in 1965. And those were the dark ages in Spain. It was a very, very sad, very black and white country. And I felt very different to all the children. So at the time I used to read all these Enid Blyton stories, you know.
Yes. And you used to transport yourself away, yes.
Exactly. So one time when I was really down in the pits, I said to my mother, please send me to England. I want to get out of here. I have to go somewhere else. And she sent me to this boarding school, and I was very happy. It changed my life, really.
How funny. It's great that you said that to your mum and she did something about it, though, because that was quite a risk, wasn't it?
Well, yes. When I became a mother, I had that problem as well. My daughter said, "Oh, I don't like this school." And usually, as mothers, we think about it. Say, "Oh, you're going to a very good school. Just stay there, and your sister goes to the same school. You're not going to change now." But definitely, it can change your life. And I would say that if children is not happy in a school, no matter how good, no matter how fabulous, you have to take him out.
Yeah, oh gosh, right. Carmen, you've lived all over the place, so where do you call home now?